When the moments in your life are too important to miss, you can trust O'Reilly Auto Parts to keep you and your plans on the road. Our professional parts people can test your vehicle's battery and even give it a charge if needed. In most cases, we can install your new battery for free. It's just one of the many services we provide at O'Reilly Auto Parts to ensure life's best moments don't find you stranded.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Scrolling with Haley. Join Haley Caronia as she scrolls through the biggest headlines.
If you haven't watched this show before, we do blind reactions. I have not seen these videos, so I am seeing them for the first time with all of you. We're going to implement the tinfoil hat time segments and all the stuff you know and love. And I'm going to finish the show and answer some of your questions. Someone asked me what made you get into podcasting, and I was producing podcasts for other people. And I was like, I could do this for myself, and here I am.
Scrolling with Haley. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
This Jocks 94.5 podcast is brought to you by Millennium Satellite and Video. Log on to msbnow.com. TV excellence everywhere. That's Millennium. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning starts now.
All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning, 9:32, Thursday, July 16th, right here on Jocks. Before we go to Justin Hokanson, learn a little bit more about Auburn Baylor and some of the things happening behind the scenes. Tell us, Greg, about Bromberg's.
Well, Bromberg's has been the go-to here in the community for 190 years. They continue to provide an elevated experience for everyone that goes in looking for a generational gift, perhaps maybe a natural diamond that began its journey to your finger 3 billion years ago. Its original home was about 100 miles deep within the earth, and it's a luxury like no other. And it's honestly pretty amazing to know how much that natural diamond that you purchase at Bromberg's can help people all over the world. So highly recommend you going and checking out Bromberg's to discover the latest natural diamond jewelry. Maybe you want David Yurman jewelry. They have that. They have several other name brands. They are Rolex authorized retailers. So there's a ton of wonderful things the second you walk in the door at Bromberg. So go and check them out in Mountain Brook or at the Summit. You can also see them online at brombergs.com.
All right, let's go to Justin Hokanson now to discuss Auburn Baylor. Hoke, it feels like some details have emerged about what this game's going to actually do for the Auburn Athletic Department and NIL. What can you tell us further?
Yeah, I mean, what came out, I think they had a press release yesterday. The numbers in terms of what Auburn's going to get from an NIL perspective, I mean, we reported that 9 months ago. I mean, I wrote that they were going to get $4 to $8 million when it was announced 9 months ago. I think what's interesting about the news yesterday was honing in on the players involved. So there'll be about 24 players involved on the Auburn side. And so what that means is, obviously, if it's going to end up being $6 million towards NIL, it's going to go to those 24 players on Auburn's roster. Those guys will help promote the game, and that's selected by Auburn. I mean, and a lot of that has to do with getting that money cleared through the College Sports Commission. If you try to take the $6 million and spread it out over 85 players, it's a lot harder to get all that cleared. For player 80 and he's getting X amount, that's hard to get cleared versus the top 24. And most rosters, that top 24-ish, I mean, that's a large percentage of your NIL demands anyway. So you get $6 million that you can take. It goes straight to those players and helps offset what you've got to pay them, and it takes some pressure off certainly the need to go get individuals or companies or businesses, other third-party NIL people involved. So the deal in general and the whole point of them doing it was to help alleviate some pressure on the NIL side, help pay some of these guys and alleviate some pressure that just keeps building in these athletic departments around trying to raise these NIL funds.
Well, understandable. So you're telling me that every dollar that Auburn makes on the neutral side is going directly to the players. That is what's being reported now. Because I've heard very different reports on this. A few different athletic directors have reached out for clarification. I've reached out to them as well. Because to me it feels like a loophole. But that's what you're reporting. That's what you've heard.
Yeah, my understanding is that $6 million will go towards 24 players on Auburn's roster. Yeah, and then they're obviously going to do their job on promoting the game and through social media and things like that. They have to do things to earn it.
Just out of curiosity, well, why couldn't you do this for any other endeavor at a home game or whatnot? Because yes, while the players stand to benefit in this scenario, what hurts is the student experience, not being able to have it in the home venue. I mean, what are the kind of the costs here of doing business? Can you ever pull this off at a home venue?
Yeah, and then that was when it was announced. That was there was a lot of fan pushback. There was people that want to go to Jordan-Hare to watch a game. Certainly people that have businesses in the city and the community that rely on tourism. So there was a little bit of that. I mean, the difference is this money is going directly towards the third-party NIL side, whereas if you do the home game, all of that's going in athletic department money, rev share. It's going to the rev share. There's two different sides. There's rev share and NIL. So if you do it at home, you get all the ticket money and you get the home experience, and the fans get the home game, and the city gets the tourism. But none of that money you can just take and just go straight towards your NIL demands, what you've promised from an NIL perspective to these players. And so that's the difference. They can do this game. They get $6 million that you go straight towards meeting the NIL promises to these players, and that takes a lot of pressure off trying to meet those demands other places. So yeah, there's some negative. I mean, there's some fans that want a home game. They want a Jordan-Hare home game with Baylor, and they want and the people around the city want that tourism, which is why you've seen the athletic department go out and go, okay, let's bring in Zach Bryan for a concert into the city. Let's bring Ella Langley. Let's bring in another concert, the soccer game. They've got more of those type of events lined up. That's why you see them doing that, because they're going, okay, the Baylor game we moved out, and it might happen again in the future. I mean, there's no guarantee. There could be another game where they move to a neutral, and it's an NIL type deal. That's why you see them start trying to bring in these local events, because all of that money, obviously that helps offset some of the tourism stuff that you lose from a home game. You're bringing all these people in for the city, but then you also can pocket some of that money from an athletic department standpoint and make sure you're meeting, your rev share needs.
Justin Hokanson joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline talking Auburn athletics. What role, or maybe lack of role, or maybe role that was turned down, assistance that could not be, maybe was decided not to be provided for this opening game against Baylor by the city of Auburn was real? What could have been done possibly by the city to maybe help keep this game in Auburn?
In what regard, I guess? Is there a controversy? I'm not.
No, any regard. I'm just my understanding is that there are certain things that could have been done to help offset some costs that maybe could have kept the game there. Maybe even like you're referencing from an NIL perspective, probably not to the same extent, but that could have been done to be able to assist with that. Maybe what Greg's talking about as far as home games can be promoted too in different ways. There could have been a responsibility that was laid on the players to do it from the city of Auburn's perspective. I don't have anything detailed, but I'm just wondering, what role did the city play in losing this game to Atlanta? Because we know a lot of Auburn fans, like you mentioned, wanted it at Jordan-Hare Stadium.
I don't know. I don't know enough about the dynamics of all that and the internal conversations that go on to probably give a good thought on that. I mean, that's getting into some stuff that I'm probably not privy to in terms of, could the city have done anything different? Are there tax breaks they could have given? Are there some different things they could have done to offset some costs so that they didn't have to go that direction? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I'm sure there's something, but also the NIL component, I don't know how you get around that. I mean, keeping the home game here is all great, but being able to get just $6 million injected straight towards the third party part of it, I don't know how you get around that by keeping the home game. You could keep the home game and make everybody happy and that's great. I get it, but I don't know how you got somebody coming along saying, we're going to give you potentially $6-8 million, and it's going to go straight to meet your third-party demands, and then you still got all the rev share that you're going to be able to hit. I'm not sure how you'd get around that with the home game. So I don't know. I mean, obviously Notre Dame in a couple of years, that's going to stay in Auburn, but there could be some other neutral site type stuff pop up. But yeah, I don't know about the city part. I don't really want to get into that because I don't know enough about it to indict the city on could they have done something different, or is there something Auburn is looking for in the future of, hey, do this and this, and maybe we won't have to move it out? That's probably above my pay grade.
Finally, before we get you out of here, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you how you think things are going to go next week for Alex Golesh in his first media day setting. I mean, what do you think his message will be? How do you think he's going to approach it? And what are you looking forward to hearing from the team?
Yeah, I think he'll be fine. I mean, he's been. I mean, when we've just getting to know him in spring and the sort of speaking tour, I have no issues on kind of how he's going to come off and what he's going to say. I mean, he's pretty. I think he's pretty polished in front of the media and does well. So I don't foresee there being any issues in terms of him getting up there and talking. I think they picked three good guys: Byron Brown, Champ Anthony is one of the best. Man, he's great, and Alex McPherson. I think you're just going to hear, similar to what he said, I think you're going to hear from him a lot of culture stuff, a lot of creating a different mentality of how they attack practice. He is, listen, we see and hear these coaches, and we kind of try to feel like we either can decide if they're for real or not. You sort of hear them and you go, okay, is it coach speak or do they live it? Like, I think Hugh Freeze was coach speak. I don't think he lived some of the stuff. Like, Golesh comes off to me like he lives it. Like he is in the weeds. Like when he talks, like Nick, when he talks about process, he means it. And so I think you're going to hear a lot about that from him in terms of just trying to build back the program through the process of it, through the everyday type stuff. Through creating just a tougher minded team inside and out. Like, I think that's the kind of stuff that you're going to hear from him. And I think he comes off pretty genuine just from being around him, but also talking to people. I think he lives it. Like, he is a football tyrant, for the lack of a better word. And so I think that's probably good for Auburn right now at this stage of where their program is. They probably need somebody like that. So I think you're going to hear a lot about that, about just trying to sort of shift internally and externally, just the culture and how they approach every part of practice, winning, recruiting, whatever it might be. And I think it'll be interesting just to see maybe the reaction from you guys and from other people on, do you buy it? What's your impression of it? And do you think he lives it and means it and can sort of build out that process and get Auburn back? I think that'll maybe be interesting to see the impression that he gives off, and do people go, I buy what he's selling,
Justin Hokanson with us on the Higginbotham Hotline talking Auburn football. Speaking of impressions, these on-the-field workouts that they've been able to have the last month or so, who are you hearing are making the biggest impressions as we head towards fall camp? Yeah, I mean,
you've obviously got the guys like Xavier Atkins and Byron Brown who are gonna do their part. I think somebody like Chaz Nimrod continues to be a name at receiver that you just need to keep in the back of your head. Keyshawn Singleton was kind of the leading touchdown guy last year. You know what you got there. But Chaz Nimrod is maybe a player people haven't heard as much about and has got as much ability as anybody. So he's one at receiver. Bryce Diaz at linebacker continues to be a guy. You've got Xavier. You got Elijah Melendez. Bryce Diaz was a freshman last year. Durkin loved him. Came from that St. Francis pipeline. He's going to be really good. He's another guy that I would sort of keep an eye on the defensive side of the ball. So those are two that stand out to me: is Bryce Diaz on defense and Chaz Nimrod on offense. In terms of maybe you don't hear as much about them, but could be really, really important players to like the depth at linebacker and the depth at receiver, and adding that another potentially elite player that could help you win games.
Oh, great stuff, man. Thanks for hopping on with us today. It was short notice this morning, but I wanted to get some of that NIL conversation over the air, and I knew you would have the details on it. Look forward to seeing you in Tampa.
Yeah, absolutely. See you guys.
There you go. Justin Hokanson joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline, talking a little Auburn football and what that game against Baylor will mean in Atlanta. @_Jay Hokanson. You can follow him on Twitter. Find him at the On3 Sports Network where you can get all your college football needs. I thought you brought up a great point, Greg, and not really directed so much at Auburn or Hokanson, but like, why can some of these players not find NIL money from different streams to promote home games or just things that have been happening for 100 years?
Well, I mean, first of all, moving things to a neutral site, and I know it's not the most neutral site, but it does impact your ability to control the environment. I mean, so you want to win the game first and foremost. Like, paying your players is great, but like, let's win the game. Like, you know what I mean? So, and what gives you the best chance? Is it in Jordan-Hare or is it in Mercedes-Benz? I personally still believe that it's Jordan-Hare. So if there's a loophole or an angle where these players can promote the game, and this can get through the CSC, because I've had multiple athletic directors, like I said, when this thing came public, I had multiple phone calls from multiple schools saying, hey, the way you're reading into this is not entirely true. Like, you can't do that. You can't take the money from playing at a neutral site and direct it straight to the players. Now, I think they can get a piece of it. I don't think they can get all of it. I think they get a piece of it through the promotional channels, because the College Sports Commission is going to sit there and say, well, hang on, people are going to watch that game not because your quarterback sent out 2 TikTok videos about being in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So, like, they're going to be able to maybe fine-tune this a little bit. Probably won't get all $6 million, but they'll get some. So if that can be done in Atlanta, why can't that be done in Auburn? Because there's people's businesses that are impacted by this. There's people's livelihoods that are impacted. I mean, one less home game is significant impact to the GDP of that local community. So I personally, like, I'd love to, if raising money for NIL is the ultimate goal, awesome. Then you did a good job. But if giving players, there's only 24 people that benefit from this, and those are the 24 getting paid. Everybody else involved with Auburn University, season ticket holders, suite holders, students, everybody else, they don't benefit from this. So, like, that's great that you're prioritizing 24 guys, but don't you want everyone to benefit? Local business owners, hotel owners, restaurant staff that would be getting game day tips and wages. Like, there's a lot of people that are impacted by a home game. So if there's a way to do this at a neutral site, there's got to be a way to do it at a home game. So hopefully they find that way to do it in the future, so we can avoid, more home games going by way of neutral site games in the future.
Absolutely. It's listen, you got to get creative. At the end of the day, we know that you got to find a way to do it, and you got to take care of business, kind of like Gusty Goulis and the Gusty Goulis Group always do. If you need a new home in Central Alabama, it's got to be the Gusty Goulis Group. Why, you might ask? Well, you think about what Gusty Goulis has done for customers in Central Alabama, serving more than 3,000 home buyers and sellers in the greater Birmingham area. Just Google it. You'll find over 850 5-star Google reviews. Gusty Goulis Group investing thousands marketing before and after you list with them. They want to get you in the best home possible. They want to get top dollar for your home. That's why you go to GustyGoulisGroup.com and see that button at the top right-hand corner of your page. Smash that, very little information. They'll tell you what they think they can get today for your home. 205-542-1996, brokered by eXp Realty, or go to GustyGoulisGroup.com and start packing. All right, we wrap up today's show next right here on Jocks.
Jocks 94.5 is live on YouTube every weekday, plus video shorts and podcasts. Find us at Jocks 94.5 and smash the subscribe and like button so you never miss a moment. Jocks 94.5 on YouTube.
Jim Rome takes on sports.
Part of what makes this show is the show within the show. The biggest topic on the show always seems to be the show itself. This is a way to give you clones a way to interact with one another. Yes, we will be going through the chat. Yes, it'll be a part of the program. The only thing that could ruin the show are the old school clones spitting up the same bull crap that they always have. The jungle is out taking names and ready to dominate. Let's get it.
The Jim Rome Show podcast. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Scrolling with Haley.
I am Haley Carania. I scroll with the homies here in the live chat because there's a lot to scroll through on X, on Instagram, on TikTok.
Cutting through the clutter, one hot take at a time.
Love seeing you all in the chat before the show. I tried to jump in just a few minutes before to say hello. I love the chat interaction. Thank you for helping. But I do it to get all of the videos and all of the content that you won't find anywhere else.
Scrolling with Haley.
Just search that up and I will be there.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.